This week on Reel to Reel, we go back to school at Glassboro State College, where you'll meet a very special man who helps students deal with the pressures of life on campus. David Reid, acting director of the Catholic Charities Appeal, will join Pat to discuss this year's campaign, and Father Bob Curtis will drop in with another reflection. It's a Reel to Reel you won't want to miss. Hello, I'm Monsignor Charles Minor.
And I'm Pat Shelton. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Reel to Reel.
Pat, this is a great season for choices and decisions, and young people are making big choices in their life, picking colleges, for instance, where they're going to go to school later. It's a very tough one. How to go about that? What do you want to be or where do you want to go? Of course, money is in there too.
Oh yeah, major decisions for a life's work. But good luck to all of you out there. Now, here they come again. It's Catholic Charities Appeal time. With their hand out there asking, is that your attitude? I certainly hope not, because if you knew how much good your dollars did, you'd be thrilled to donate. And we're going to give you some examples this evening.
Charity is a whole world and something you should think about. And the whole world of education that the young people will choose is very important. And in making a choice, I think it's important to see what's available to you. On secular college campuses, there are things called Newman clubs. Very, very important for the total growth of the individual Catholic pursuing higher education. A Newman club is a whole new world of vision. It gives you an implication, an instigation to increase in your faith. It helps you to grow in faith.
College is a time when young adults grow and learn in many ways. During these important years, an individual can become lost or confused about the goals for which they are preparing. Here at Glassboro State College, there is a support system that is available for anyone who needs or wants to utilize the services that it offers. Father Mike Mannion serves as chaplain of Glassboro and moderator of the Newman Center, the college's campus ministry office. Known around campus as simply Father Mike, he helps to support the students socially, academically, and spiritually during this growing experience away from home. Father Mike, originally from Pennsauken, New Jersey, spent 4 years studying in Rome before he was ordained in December of 1971 at St. Peter's Basilica. While there studying, Father also met Mother Teresa and spent several years working with her in the slums of Rome. He then went to Calcutta, where he assisted her during the Bangladesh War. Following his ordination, he returned to New Jersey to promote Catholic youth and adult education in Camden. In 1983, Father Mike received his master's degree from LaSalle University. It was during his time at LaSalle that he decided he wanted to work in a college environment. And in June of 1985, Father Mike came to Glassboro State College, where he has built a community of devoted young adults who are searching for their own spiritual identity.
What a beautiful baby. You know what? They were lying, you ugly. The Newman Center is the Catholic Church's presence at Glassboro State College. But it is also the Catholic Church's commitment to the total campus community. So in addition to a sacramental, pastoral, spiritual, counseling ministry to the Catholic students, there's also an outreach to students of many nations, many ethnic backgrounds, many religions. And I'm very proud of the Newman Center's presence here because it makes a statement to the total campus community that the Catholic Church, through the presence of myself in this case, cares about you. In this, my 6th year at Glassboro State College in campus ministry, I find many joys and satisfactions. I find a great deal of fulfillment in meeting students as freshmen or new students with a bit of bewilderment, doubt, questioning, confusion in their minds about their lives and their possibilities, their potentials, and then watching them grow. If they know they're believed in, and they know that people see the possibilities in their lives, watching them grow in their faith, watching them grow in their love of the Lord, watching them grow and becoming people who came in perhaps focusing very much on their own needs, what I can do for me, what I need to do for me, and then being opened up to the elderly, the needy, the handicapped, the people that we speak of in the life issues, the homeless. And so I see the role of the Newman Center very much in terms of that vision as one of helping students learn what they can do in the world in which they live to make it a better place.
Today, the college students are working with 8th graders who are receiving the sacrament of confirmation. This is one of the many types of retreats and programs that the students of Glassboro can become involved in.
When you're at college, you do have a sheltered life, and it's a little bit different out there. And through the Newman Center, he shows us what it is like, out there, and ways to help people out there.
And I came downstairs, and my parents had told me that my Uncle Ralph had died the night before. Died late in the night of a heart attack.
The faculty and administration find the Newman Center to be a good instrument for their work. Football coach John Buntings has found a great support system for his team members at the Newman Center.
Father Mike's played a big part in our program in that we've done an awful lot of things here with some community projects. And Father Mike, of course, is very involved in all that, and he's been able to inspire both me, my staff, and my players to be involved in Special Olympics and Project Self-Sufficiency here in the college. In the bridge down in Camden, we've had some of our players go and visit a local nursing home, Mater-Dei nursing home. So these kinds of things and it's just the beginning. I mean, I run a football program that's, hopefully we get some wins, and I like to win, I hate losing, but more importantly, I want to see our kids grow.
And our coaches here at the college are very good at putting emphasis on the value of the person, rather than just you have value because you play this sport for the college. So I feel very blessed to be here at a time in the college history when the administration, the faculty, the staff, the coaches have been so open to the way that I believe I can be of assistance to them.
The Newman Center has played an important role, as I've said, because it helps the students deal with relevant issues of the day within a moral context. Many times people address issues without thinking about the moral consequences of their actions. I think that under the leadership of Father Mannion, the individuals who visit the Newman Center have the opportunity to view social problems today. And
I don't know what it is.
What is
Faculty members are not the only ones pleased with the involvement that the Newman Center has brought to their college. The students enjoy the many rewarding events and services Father Mannion provides.
Father Mike is an important part of this campus. I mean, a lot of people count on him. He's really helpful. He's always there for you.
When I first came to the college, I really wasn't involved in anything, and I wanted to get involved, and I've always been a Catholic, and I always wanted to do something with that. And when I first came here, he said there was a lot of activities I could do, and I got involved, and I'm enjoying to do. I enjoy to do it because I feel that I could see the improvement in some of the things I do.
I would pray that the Newman Center benefits the students by, number one, helping them recognize the role of a God who loves them in their lives. I say the role because God loves them, but for students to have the experience of God's love, that must come through church and people who represent that God and his love. I think of Jean Valjean's words in Les Miserables, to love another person is to see the face of God. I pray that when students come in here, they see the face of God in one another because they feel this is a safe place. They feel they're loved here. They belong here. As they involve themselves in activities that turn them right around and face them out to others, they find their own growth ratified, strengthened, supported as they become aware of what they have to give to others. So often as children we learn what we need and how to be rather manipulative and exploitive if we don't get what we need. But then as adults on a faith level, if we can teach people what they have to give, they're going to find out that in that spiritual dialysis they get back really what they needed all along.
Father Mike Mannion is very typical of the great people you meet on campus. If you stand by, you can meet us again.
I'll take a stand. I'm here to lend a hand. 'Cause now I found the key. The change is up to me. It's up to me. It's up to me. It's up to the change is up to me. It's up to me. It's up to me. Today I'll take a stand. I'm here to lend my hand. Now that I can see, the change is up to me.
It's up to us. What are you waiting for?
Everyone makes mistakes, Matthew. Don't pay any attention to the other children.
For this bright 6-year-old, the ABCs have never been as simple as ABC. Where do you go when you're different from the other kids? He got help at a Center for Learning Disabilities. They got help from the United Way. All because the United Way got help from you. The United Way. It brings out the best in all of us.
Pittsburgh scientists have made a discovery that could lead to a test that will prevent thousands of people from getting diabetes. Every cent counts.
Though I have the power to move mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. 1 Corinthians 13. I said it last week, and I think it bears repeating. Because the subject this week is again charity. It is Catholic Charities Appeal time in the Archdiocese of Philadelphia, and we're going to try to explain to you tonight how very important it is that you contribute. Our guest is Dave Reid, Acting Director of the Catholic Charities Appeal, and I want to thank you, Dave, for joining us again this year.
Thank you, Pat.
Okay. You know, at the start of the show, I said some people's attitude might reflect, oh, here they come again with their hands out, and da, 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 da. If everybody understood how important their contributions were, I think they'd be very, very happy to give. And that's why we invited you here tonight, to sort of explain to everybody what we do with the dollars that we ask our viewers to donate.
The Catholic Charities Appeal supports over 250,000 persons throughout the Archdiocese of Philadelphia. We help the young, the old, families, peoples in all walks of life that are in need in their particular situation. And this is addressed through Catholic social services, through our nutritional development services, through schools for special education, through programs for the youth that encourage service, and through the Family Life Office.
Mm-hmm. Now, before the program, you were telling me that there are 65 programs under the Catholic Charities banner. Now, we can't talk about all 65, so I thought it might be a good idea if we concentrate on about 5. And the 5 that I selected are from this year's Catholic Charities Appeal poster, which is a beautiful, colorful poster that everybody has probably seen or will be seeing shortly. Beautiful bright blue with the Archbishop and several small insets. Now, let's talk about these pictures on the poster. The first one, the biggest one with the Archbishop, I think represents immigration and migrant refugees.
That is correct. This program is run out through Catholic Social Services. Catholic Social Services is probably the largest nonprofit organization within the Delaware Valley that provides social services. And we are happy that one of the services provided is for migration and refugees. In addition to this, the Catholic Social Services also provides programs of adoption, programs of assistance for the elderly, programs of assistance to families. Mm-hmm. It runs the entire gamut of anyone that would be in need and helps them at their own particular level, wherever that may be.
Okay. I know back to the immigration and migrant refugee resettlement program, that must be a very large program because I work in the building where that office is, and I see people entering the building and on the elevator with me on a daily basis, and they come from all parts of the world, and they come in droves, so that must be a very busy department.
In the elevator in the building, it always amazes me that there are enough interpreters to translate all the languages that are occurring on the elevator, because it seems that we have a whole gamut of various people coming from various parts of the world that are helped through Catholic Social Services.
It's amazing, the work that is done there. And then another photograph on the poster, I believe, is St. John's Hospice.
St. John's Hospice, again, comes under Catholic Social Services. Catholic Social Services has several programs for the homeless. St. John's is one of them, and perhaps is known best for the program that it has of an ongoing feeding program for homeless men in Philadelphia. In addition to this, St. John's also provides some short-term and some long-term shelter for individual homeless men.
I know if you're in that part of Center City, passing St. John's Hospice at the right time of day, you can just see
there are lines,
dozens and dozens of men standing in line for meals that are always there for them.
That's correct.
Wonderful program. Also, I believe there's a picture of St. Lucy's Day School. What is that?
The Catholic Charities Appeal funds 5 schools of special education, one of which is St. Lucy's School for the Visually Impaired. The other schools would include Archbishop Ryan Memorial Institute for the Deaf, and then there are 3 schools for the mentally handicapped, St. Catherine's, Our Lady of Confidence, and St. Queen of the Universe in Levittown.
Okay, from the very young, we go to the very old, because you'll also picture a scene from the Immaculate Mary Nursing Home?
That's correct. The Catholic Charities Appeal funds have helped throughout the years in the construction of the nursing homes in the Archdiocese of Philadelphia. And while we do not fund the operations of these homes, we do provide the monies that enable them to be built. And there are some 13, I believe, nursing homes within the Archdiocese that provide services for elderly folks that can no longer live in their own homes.
Such a needed service. Finally, there's a photograph outside of the Family Life Building. What does the Family Life Building do? Family Life Program do?
Well, as you know, the Family Life Office is located right here on the grounds of St. Charles Seminary, and they've recently moved. The Family Life Office provides a whole gamut of services for families. It would include the marriage preparation services. This week they are going to be doing the Jubilee Mass for those that have been married 25 and 50 years. It would include a whole bunch of family-related services.
What's the goal this year?
The goal for the appeal this year, in dollar terms, we are looking for $7.7 million. More than that, what we are hoping to do is to have everybody be able to participate in the appeal.
And if everybody would participate in the appeal, and only minimally, if everyone would give a few dollars, we could probably reach that goal. And I would appeal to you to please remember Catholic Charities in the coming weeks. Dave, thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you, Pat. It was a pleasure.
I want you to stay with us for a bit more. We've got some good things coming up next on Real to Real.
If I can stop one heart from breaking, I shall not live in vain. If I can ease one life the aching, or cool one pain, or help one fainting robin unto his nest again, I shall not live in vain. These words of Emily Dickinson reflect the ideals that Jesus taught us. With the assistance of faithful Catholics across America, we have made these words live on by helping the sick, the poor, the lost, by giving comfort and solace to those in need, by building chapels where none existed before, and rebuilding lives through the Word of God. We are the Catholic Church Extension Society, caring for Mission America since 1905. To learn more about Extension's missionary efforts, write for a free introduction to Extension Magazine. The address is Extension Magazine, 35 East Wacker Drive, Chicago, Illinois, 60601.
We welcome your comments, suggestions, and donations and encourage you to write us at Reel to Reel, St. Charles Seminary, 1000 East Wynwood Road, Overbrook, PA 19096, or call us during regular business hours at 668-9842.
It's combination time. Let's put three things together again. It's this time physical power. We're aware of that, and we try to reduce the risks. It's such a part of human life, but also we have to understand we are never alone.
Lord, sometimes I so take life for granted. I get worried about the little things, how my hair is combed, what people think of me, whether I'm going to get the promotion at work, whether I'm going to make enough money to have all the luxuries that are important to me. And sometimes as I pass by the local hospital, it seems so far away from the reality of my life. I'm healthy. I'm going to live forever. And then when I hear you calling me to be aware that I know not the day nor the hour, I sometimes want to run away from that because it would suggest that you really want me to think a little bit more deeply about how I'm using each day. Lord, help me not to be afraid, not to be frightened of death, but rather to see the gospel as an invitation, to be open to good and to treasure each day, and to be so prepared that when you do call me back to yourself, that I'm coming back to a home that I understand and love. Lord, help me to be grateful for the gift of each day.
You know, nothing intimidates seniors more than the fear of a stroke, because strokes are so devastating. There are, however, definite signs that a stroke is approaching. I talked to a top medical specialist about it.
A very substantial number of strokes are preceded by warning signs. The typical warning signs of a stroke are loss of vision, loss of motor strength or paralysis, loss of sensation. The loss of vision is usually in one eye, and it is oftentimes very brief and without any pain.
However, stroke candidate Donna Kiefer didn't experience loss of sight.
It started with getting numb in my face on my right side, and then my tongue would get thick, and like I couldn't talk too good. And then I had pain down on the right side of the shoulder.
She did not actually have a stroke. She had warning symptoms of a stroke. In her case, we found a blockage of one of the neck arteries, and she was enrolled in one of our stroke treatment programs in which some of the patients received surgery.
Ultrasound pinpointed the location of the clot, and doctors removed it surgically. But surgery is not the total answer to stroke prevention.
At this point in time, surgery has no proven benefit for stroke prevention. Believe it or not, aspirin, a common over-the-counter aspirin, is the only medication that's available at present that has been proven beneficial for stroke prevention.
You know, there's a world of information about strokes and how to avoid them, obtainable from the National Stroke Association. Here's the phone number, 1-800-367-1990. I'm Doris Winkler.
We now know that when Abraham Lincoln was addressing the crowds at Gettysburg, he had physical pain. Jack Kennedy and Franklin Roosevelt often made speeches while they were in pain. I often wonder about such events as the Sermon on the Mount. How did Jesus feel that day? Maybe he had a headache. There were no aspirins in those days. What if he just had a bad cold? There were no antibiotics if he had a toothache or an earache or heartburn even. There were no remedies at all. Here are some of the diseases that I remember that are common to people of Jesus' day. Malaria, typhoid fever, dysentery, ringworm, boils, tuberculosis, pneumonia, smallpox, bubonic plague, scurvy, polio, palsy, and all the afflictions of the eye, ear, nose, and throat that you and I have. If Jesus shared the human condition completely and he did. Then he had physical pain. And he had his pain at a time when there was no medicine to speak of and no doctors to speak of. Jesus could have had gallstones or kidney stones. We just don't know. What we do know is that he experienced physical pain in the same way that we do. We also know he couldn't do nearly as much about it as you and I can. There were no painkillers in Jesus' day. And when you think of all the pain he surely had to go through, it adds a new dimension to his statement, I have overcome the world. Because physical pain is a very large part of human life. And when you have it, when part of your body hurts beyond measure, you feel horribly alone. One of the lessons of Jesus is that no matter how great your pain, no matter how great, you are not alone with it. He has shared it. He knows it. If your physical pain is fierce enough, it's very difficult to think about anything else. If right this very second you hurt that badly, maybe you can find some solace in the resonance of the life of Christ, which says, believe it or not, your pain will pass. But you will not. And he makes this promise, a time is coming when there shall be no more pain, and when every tear shall be wiped away.
Pat, you know, the beautiful thing about Charities Appeal, as I remember it and still would be interested, is the door-to-door campaign. There's no substitute for the hot breath on the cheek. You have to go bang on a door and ask.
I guess not. And I know firsthand, Monsignor, because I'm a parish volunteer. And each year they give the parishioners about a list of 10 houses in your neighborhood to visit. And I go out knocking on the door, but I'm never very disappointed because the people on my list just write their checks and they just give willingly.
Well, I know sometimes you got I gave at the office kind of thing, but it's so important that we really keep it alive, that people will go to this whole idea of being responsible and responsive to the need of the poor and all the institutions that we do serve.
They're so wonderful and we appreciate it so much. I'll be seeing you. I'll be ringing your doorbell soon.
Well, be sure you ring it hard and be nice when you see the people. Well, thank you so much for joining us again. I want to wish you a happy goodbye and a real God bless you.
Good night, everybody. I won't be with you next year. With new blood.
Throughout the Archdiocese, over 250,000 men, women, and children, members of God's family, have been helped by the human services programs funded by the Catholic Charities Appeal. Within the great family of the Archdiocese of Philadelphia, the Catholic Charities Appeal gives us all the opportunity to give our time, our talent, our treasure, but above all, our love to brothers and sisters in need.
Praise the Lord. I'm Father Ralph Chifo from the Charismatic Office. Jesus assures us, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And each week at a Charismatic Prayer Group, we experience through sharing, singing, and learning the joy of knowing the Lord with us. Become one of us and all of our brothers and sisters in prayer and the joy of learning about Christ's death and resurrection. Contact us at 668-HOPE.